And then after all of that, there's the pressure to get your body back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Back.
Don't get me started.
Back to
Yeah,
what?
seriously.
Like,
Back
what?
to
Why?
what?
How?
Yeah, exactly. I just gave birth, so back to what?
Welcome to The Village by Emma's Diary. I'm Grace, a mum, a slight oversharer, and I'm passionate about talking about bodies.
And I'm Jess. I'm a mum of 4. And I've had 4 singleton pregnancies, so my body has been through a lot. And the only direction it knows now is south.
I love that.
And today we're going to be talking about postpartum bodies
Yes.
and how they've changed since having kids.
We've got 2 incredible guests with us today to talk all things mum tums, bodies, confidence and empowerment. We've got the incredible Victoria, who's got 2 babies, and they are 14 months apart. So back to back. So we're
Wow.
going to talk about that.
Yeah, why did I do that? Whose idea was that one?
And then we've also got Rutendo, who's also a fellow mum of 2 and is really passionate about empowering women and talking all things mum and empowerment. And I'm so excited because this is like me and Grace's bread and butter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Bringing
love
this.
talking about our bodies.
Yes.
Reality, isn't it?
Yeah, and the shame that you feel, or not so much shame. So tell me,
Yeah.
girlies, what happened to your bodies after you had your first baby?
Well, where do we start?
What didn't happen?
Okay, what didn't happen?
What didn't happen? Yeah.
When I was pregnant, I was fine. I had a tiny little belly. I was nice, and it was a nice little compact pregnancy. And once I gave birth, I was told by my friends that if you're breastfeeding, your body will just snap back.
I was told that as well.
Myth.
That you
My
lose all
myth.
the
body
weight. That
did
you
not
lose all the
snap
weight.
anyway. It snapped down. Okay, I was breastfeeding, and I gave birth during the pandemic as well. So there was no going out, no go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So my body just went the opposite of what I thought. And it was quite daunting because I was not used to that sort of body. I was quite athletic, quite fit. And when I gave birth, I was still trying to do walks and things like that. But my body was just not the same anymore. And
It goes so much softer.
yeah. A few people around me, their bodies just went back to how they were before birth. And I sort of felt lonely. And I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like I'm breastfeeding, I'm walking, I'm eating well. So what is going on? So it wasn't a great experience for me. But because I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it, it was the pandemic. And people around me all snapped back real quick.
Quite isolating.
Yeah, it was. I thought I felt quite alone in that sort of environment. But you know what? I've grown from it. I've had a second baby since then. My body didn't really snap back, but I learned to embrace it. And since I embraced it, I'm very comfortable in my own skin.
It's easier.
Yeah, I'm
once
very
you-
happy.
Yeah.
Like if I look at my belly, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I birthed 2 kids, so I've got a belly for
Yes.
a reason.
Yeah.
If my boobs are going that way, it's okay because we fed 2 little humans and they're very healthy right now. So yeah,
Same
I love
direction as
it.
mine, Rutendo.
Yes,
Don't you worry
do you know what I
about
mean?
that. Victoria, are there any body changes that actually you didn't expect or no one told you about? Because I think we know, our bellies are going to grow and we're going to
Yeah.
get bumps and stuff,
Yeah.
which, by the way, why are big bellies only celebrated when they're bumps?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
They should
Agreed.
be celebrated all the time.
My
Yeah,
baby was big
exactly.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was there anything that was unexpected, a change that maybe you didn't think you were going to see?
I think I went into it completely blind.
Fine.
I'm not going to lie. I was like a comfortable size 10 to 12 pre-babies, and I'll never forget, I think I was 20 weeks pregnant with Isabella, my eldest, and this purple stretch mark came. This tiny little stretch mark came at the front of my belly, and I just thought I was going to go through the whole pregnancy without stretch marks. I was putting all my creams on, and that one, and then literally
Did
the
it
rest
rock
of my
you?
pregnancy. It did, because I knew that once there was one, I knew that was
There'll be a
gonna.
lot more.
I don't think I realised, because I had really bad stretch marks. They were bright purple, and they were like all over my stomach, all over my hips, all up the side, and they just kept on coming.
Yeah.
Kept coming.
They're quite
and
aggressive looking.
Yeah.
and they
sometimes.
were just, I've never seen stretch marks that were as deep purple as mine.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And they just kept coming, and I knew that all that cream I was using was doing absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And I just thought, that can go in the bin.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I bought into all of that stuff, and
Yeah.
it did not work for me at all.
Yeah.
And it just got worse and worse and worse. And
Yeah.
eventually I was just like, I didn't even want to look in the mirror when I was pregnant. And I had you had a small bump. My bump
Yeah.
was huge.
Oh,
I was like, people thought I was carrying twins.
Oh, why do they
It was that
always
big.
say
I
that?
know.
Like-
Just got one.
And that's it.
But my mum
Everyone-
had
yeah.
like a little football.
Yeah.
And I was just absolutely
Everyone carries
humongous.
differently.
gosh.
You
Yeah.
get the B bump, the low bump,
I
the
was
high
huge.
bump.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. And it just, I just never expected it to be.
Do you know what happened to
I
me?
knew. Go on.
I know Grace. I've known Grace a long time. When she takes that deep breath, I think, where
Here we
is this
go.
gonna go?
I noticed one of my labias was droopier. And I had
That is not where I expected
but
it to
I had
go.
2 C-sections, so how?
So did I.
I had C-sections as well.
My vagina has changed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's got just saggier
Yeah, everything
and
else.
looser.
Everything.
And
Yeah, I
one
think I can relate
side
to that.
is 100% further down than the other side.
That is so
So that's
funny.
what I did not expect.
How did you
At
Well, I'll tell you
all.
something funny actually with my first. I had the most horrendous labour. Literally, I was screaming. I was 10 centimetres dilated. I was vomiting, couldn't even keep my head up. And I was screaming. I said to my partner, I have to have a C-section. I literally, I
I'm
got all
done.
the way to 10 centimetres and they were like, I was like, I have nothing left. Literally, you could tell me that if I pushed this baby out, I'd get £1,000,000 and I still couldn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
And they came in and they were like, I was like, I have to have a C-section. And they had to push my daughter's head back up.
Oh, wow.
She was crowning and I literally...
You had to tap out.
They literally put me on the table. They gave me the thingy in my back.
Spinal.
Yeah, I'd had a failed epidural and all that shit. Didn't work for me. And then they had to push her back up to then get. And they obviously that's how close I was to having a vaginal birth. And I just couldn't do it. So they had to push her back up to do the C-section because I literally So I kind of got the worst because I had the C-section and I had the stretch fanny at the same time. Basically, like. The head was like there. It's not like the whole body, but like the head was there, and then they had to push it back up. But I never forget they looked at me like I was a total.
I've never
wuss.
heard of that
Like
before.
my midwife.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
honestly I could not do it. I was in labour for it was like 2.5 days. It was just awful. Like I was induced. It was horrific.
That's a lot. I was induced as well.
Oh my god, it's the most painful
No,
thing ever.
I was induced, and I was telling them like I'm in pain. They didn't believe me until I was too late.
Maybe I'm just a wuss, but it was like
No, you're
No,
not.
you're
I
not.
literally was
No,
like
you're
I
not.
cannot do it, and they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "No, I can't." So
Isn't
that's pushed back up.
that's mad. And I also so we've all had C-sections.
Yes.
Okay, C-section
Yeah,
queen. I think that recovery was. Listen, I didn't want to sneeze in case my guts fell out. Like I was
that's a
stressing.
big one.
But I think the recovery and the changes were so unexpected. But also when people tell you your body's made to do this.
Yeah.
Then you think, oh, okay, it'll all just go back then
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it was built to do this. And then post baby, you're
doesn't.
like, pardon. So like I had this thing in my head that once the baby was out, my bump would go.
The
Go
bump is
where?
over there now. What do you
But
mean?
Go
nobody
down.
tells you that
And the
because you just
C-section
assume.
overhang.
Yeah.
The fold I have, the way it like
Yeah.
folds over the
Yeah.
skin. It's
Because
just
the
like
start inside is so thick.
Yeah.
So it hangs over.
It's
But
quite
I think
painful as
everyone's
well.
different. Everyone's pain threshold. So like my C-section recovery, the first one, I was in a coma, so I woke up and it was like neat, done. I was like, oh, okay.
Great.
And then with Kamiko, my second, I was absolutely fine. It was like it happened, but I wasn't in any pain. I think I was in pain for 2 days because my pain threshold
Yeah.
is so high.
Yeah.
Whereas some people, they're flawed by a C-section,
Yeah.
and everyone's different.
Yeah. With my C-section, I had emergency C-sections both times, and the first time I had sepsis.
Yeah,
So
but
it
I
was
had
a
sepsis
lot.
in one of mine.
I was
so
in
get
hospital
it.
for like 8 days.
Yep, same.
It was a lot, and obviously trying to come out of it. I think it took me about 3 or 4 months to actually fully recover.
got a newborn as well.
Yeah, and a
all of
newborn.
that.
And trying to breastfeed.
I know, it's a lot. And you know, in my culture, once you've given birth, I don't know if you guys do it, you tie a wrap around your
wrap,
stomach to try and put it in. I couldn't do that because it was so painful
Yeah.
with a C-section.
I don't think people talk about that enough because I think there's this not stigma about having a C-section, but there's this fear around it, and then people don't really talk about it enough. But what would be? We've all had one. So what's like your one tip? Like, what's the one recovery thing that you did that made you feel better or helped your recovery in some sort of way?
Slow down.
Yeah.
The first one I had, I was so desperate to get up and go. I was trying to rush out the hospital. I just wanted to get home.
Yeah.
I was like 5 days before Christmas, and I thought I was going to
Oh
be
gosh,
up.
fine.
Yeah, she was booked 19th of December. So.
Mine's 21 December.
Oh,
my
okay, not quite, not quite 5 days.
Twinsies.
Really?
I'm the only one without
okay.
December, baby. I feel a bit left out now.
I just wanted to get home, and I ended up opening. I split the scar. Didn't lead to sepsis, but I got an infection. Was on antibiotics, and I've got a really bad pain threshold. I'm like a total wuss, I
my
think.
goodness.
I just rushed it. I just tried to get up and walk and do too much, and I just overdid it. You just need to slow down
And take
I
the
think
drugs.
People
Yeah.
don't exactly.
Yes.
And even if because people say, "Oh, I'm not really in pain," but my second C-section, I took the painkillers every 4 hours, like they told me. Even if I wasn't in
Religiously.
pain, I would take the next lot But the first time I didn't, and I just felt like a failure because I couldn't just get up and go. Because I was seeing girls that I follow that would just literally be up 2 days, normal life, out, taking the kids to the cinema, or
Makeup
going out
on,
for lunch.
hair done.
And I'm in bed like, why
how?
can't I couldn't even sit up by myself.
Yeah.
And it was really hard.
No, it's difficult.
Really hard. The second time I had, obviously my daughter was 6 months old, and I was trying to get out and rush. And I never forget that the nurses come around to me on the ward, and they said, they were really firm. They said, we know you want to get home, but if you go home now, you're just going to end up
Come back in.
Exactly.
and you're just gonna. So you just need to slow the fuck down.
Slow down and
enjoy the help.
Yeah, enjoy. And I'm gonna say
Enjoy
ask for
the
the help.
help,
Because I'm lucky enough to have my family around me, and
Yeah.
I'm very independent. It's very hard for me to ask for help. But after I had the C-section, I had to ask for the help, and they all rallied around
hard.
me, and that actually made the recovery much easier. Because listen, it's ghetto out there. It's ghetto. So if
really,
you've got the
really is.
help, ask for it and take it.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then after all of that, there's the pressure to get your body back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Back.
I fucking hate
Don't get
that.
me started.
Back to
Yeah,
what?
seriously.
Like
Back
what?
to
Why?
what?
Yeah, back to
How?
exactly. I just gave birth, so back to what?
Yeah,
This is a new
back to
beginning.
what?
This is
But
my
there
body
is
now.
a pressure.
You know?
Yeah, Victoria, you said it about like what we see online.
I
like,
hate it.
People
It
not
killed
really
me.
showing what I deem the reality for me.
Yeah.
Not really showing that. And then of course in the media it's all like she snapped back and she's done this, and it's almost like we have to have a baby but not show a single sign.
Do you
of
know
it.
what really
Exactly.
annoys me about that though is that most women don't snap back.
No,
Yeah.
it's not the
Most
majority.
women don't. The only ones that shout about snapping back are like the small percentage of women that do,
Yeah.
because all the rest of the women feel ashamed or embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people at the beginning, and I think it's really toxic when you
Yeah.
go on
Oh, it
social
is.
media and you're looking at all these women that are like in their size 8 pair of jeans straight away, and
Yeah.
they're just that's so damaging.
But even after a
So
year,
damaging.
I still felt fucked
Yeah.
after a
Yeah.
year.
I'm 2 years postpartum and I'm still 3 sizes bigger and
Yeah.
nearly 2.5 stone heavier.
and you
than I
look
was.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
But
do.
do you know what? I feel the best I've ever felt. And
Yeah.
we
Yes,
all
I
look
do as
amazing.
well.
Yeah.
And I feel more confident now than I did pre-baby.
Me
Yeah.
too.
That's because I've stopped
Worrying about
giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I've
Honestly.
started dressing for the body that I have, not for the body that I want or I see on fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
Because it's just not who I am.
No,
so
it's not.
Yeah.
I
I
just
not
have to
real.
find peace with it.
Did
Yeah.
you feel pressure, Jess?
I mean, yeah, I think as we all do, we just expect that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think, I don't know, I also, and this is actually crazy. So when I had Sophia, I had a C-section. 11 days later, I was a bridesmaid at my mum's wedding.
Oh my goodness.
my God. Were you
and
still bleeding?
Yeah, literally 11 days later. So
Jeez.
I was a bridesmaid. I mean, I still had a fight for the bouquet because like, nothing was going to stop me from. I didn't catch it.
Oh,
but
gosh.
I think that was worse because for me, I also had this big event where everyone was going to be looking at me.
Yeah.
And even though I had a new baby, I felt like there was this pressure to look a certain way. And luckily, my mum, God bless her, made sure we had all these like beautiful floaty dresses that were really
Yeah.
flattering for
That's
everyone
nice. Yeah.
and made me feel really good. But I remember being like, this is actually unhinged. Like I had a baby 10 days ago, 11 days ago.
And I'm here.
And I'm here.
Wow.
And so I felt that pressure. And I think as time's gone on, I've matured in how I feel about myself because I wanted to make sure that my daughters, my sons and daughters, didn't inherit the shame that I felt about my body.
Yeah.
Important.
Especially
Exactly.
and then almost saying, can you imagine indirectly saying to your child, you did this to my body? Because that's what we're saying when we shame ourselves or
Yeah.
talk up,
Yeah,
like badly
yeah,
about
yeah.
the bodies that
And
we've had that have carried our children.
Yeah.
And actually, they're the best things that I've ever.
And I do it
No,
again
they
and
literally
again and
are.
again
Yeah,
and again.
I mean, I did
so-
do it again and
Yeah.
again and again and again.
Yeah.
And I've got four times.
Yeah.
But I think as I've matured and feel better about myself, it's been easier to overcome that pressure. Rutendo, you said you were doing like athletics and fitness
Yes, I
and
was very
stuff.
fit. I was a gym freak.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how do you combat that expectation of yourself if you're in the gym and there's a level of fitness or the way your body moves that you had before
Yeah.
and suddenly that is
Compared
not
to now.
happening?
Just
yeah.
stop. It was very hard at the beginning, because I was feeling like I was feeling myself, feeling my body. And obviously, you have people around you. Like, I don't know if you've heard in the African culture, they think, you're going to snap back because you need to look good for your man. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to go to the next girl. And that was something that was in my head. It was it was a lot of pressure, and I didn't really enjoy it. And you go into a very dark place, saying, you get depressed, and the more you get depressed, you start overeating, and you're just getting bigger and bigger, But, once I realized, I said, you know what? Yeah, this is my body. I gave birth to 2 beautiful babies. And if it's going to snap back, it will. But if it's not, it's not. And I'm okay with it. And once I accepted my body the way it was, I fell in love with it. That's why I actually started exercising more. I just accepted it. My stretch marks, my little belly push, I love it. It is what it is. And I'm trying to teach my daughter as well the same thing. Yeah. I don't want her to go to school and people call her big and she feels some type of way about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like one of the most important things to me is like raising my children for their like core belief to be that they're enough no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm so like hot on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I grew up thinking that like I was too big or too much, wasn't this, wasn't that.
Yeah.
And I just don't want it for them.
I don't
and
want
it starts
it.
with us. They see how
exactly.
we talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
what we
And with social media going the way it is as well.
I know, it's terrible.
But also, I think people forget that health is not defined by your body size.
No.
It's not.
Like you can be the slimmest person and you could be less healthy than the size 18 girl. Like, that's what people need to realise, that they need to stop registering skinny and slim with healthy.
And people need to
Because
stop
that's
looking
not
at
it.
social media people or
Yeah.
celebrities
Yes.
as if they're gods and that's what you need to look up to. It's not.
Do you think
It's
that
all
the,
fake.
like the influencer and like celebrity culture like has a big impact
Yeah,
on how we
absolutely.
Massive.
Because
Yeah.
right now people
Massive.
spend most of their time on their
Dangerous.
phones and on the
Yeah.
TV
Dangerous.
watching these celebrities. They don't actually know the life behind the celebrities. Do you know what I mean?
The other side to it.
and the
Yeah.
help that a lot of celebrities
Exactly, yeah.
with their
Personal
bodies, with their skin,
trainers,
with their
nutritionists,
kids, with
everything.
everything,
Yeah.
cooking,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
When really you're just shoving hobnobs in your face trying to survive the next day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
When
I
you're in
ate
the
so many
trenches.
hobnobs.
Yeah,
You're in the trenches. Your last thing is to think this is what feels good, and then the pressure of looking good for your partner. You touched on it like
Yeah.
that. Like, is he gonna look at me the
never
same
had that.
way?
Honestly, Carl was stuck with it. He didn't like it. He didn't fuck off.
It's like-
I love that. But it's
To be fair,
hard.
my
It is
husband,
hard.
my husband was very good. To be honest, he never
Amazing.
made me feel some type of way. But it's
That's
the people
lovely, though.
around that would be putting
Put
like
that
these little
pressure
voices
on.
in your
Outside
ear.
noise.
Yeah, but my husband never. It made me feel very comfortable in my own body,
Yeah.
and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's
and-
a vulnerability in that, though, isn't
Yeah.
there? Like you coming out and being like suddenly being naked in front of someone, and
I
your body's different for
know. I'm
you.
just-
And
Oh,
also
like,
the
oh my goodness.
libido
Yeah.
after you have kids and
Oh
like
my
what?
goodness.
I haven't got mine back
Listen.
2 years later. What
No,
about you girls?
the sex.
I mean, I did because that's why I had 3 more kids. So.
But like, just
we
like
literally did it once after my youngest and felt pregnant, and that was like, okay, we're
Like,
gonna
whoop.
do that again.
yeah,
You're very
and
fertile.
that's what it is. It's the not only your body but just also the connection with that and
Yeah.
like sex and feeling sexy
I
and
know.
do you know what I mean?
After my,
That's
my
hard,
first
isn't it?
child,
That's
it
the
was very
hardest
hard.
part.
It took a lot to get back into it. But after my second,
What I leave from here today.
listen,
I
okay?
love
I need
that.
some tips.
I don't
because
know how
this-
people find the time.
Yeah.
Listen.
You make the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I should. I am so overstimulated, right?
Yeah.
When my partner
I'm not
gets
in
home
the
from
good way
work-
we're trying to get
no,
to
no,
either.
literally, I'm so overtouched by my tiny little
Yeah.
devils
Yeah.
that I'm like, don't come near me. I don't want
Yeah.
to talk to you. Don't touch me. I just want to go upstairs and watch Stranger Things, and that's
Yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
with a packet of biscuits.
yeah.
With the hobnobs. The
It's
hobnobs
just
are back.
weird. But when I'm on holiday, when we're talking about stuff, like when I'm on holiday, that's a whole different story. Like I'm relaxed, I'm chilled, like, I'm good to go.
But I think women
when
need
I'm
emotional
reality,
space
like,
to be
yeah.
able to feel
Exactly.
sexy.
Yeah, they
So when
do.
you've got the kids all the time and you're cooking and you're
just so
cleaning,
can't.
like the last thing you're thinking about is, yeah, I want to get down and dirty.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like Rutendo, who's like, yeah, I'll get down. I love it.
I think because me and my husband we've had to communicate
I
because it
love
was
that.
I love
different
that.
with my firstborn, but with my second one we communicate and he knows how I feel.
I
So when he
love
comes from work, he takes the kids. If he's giving them a bath, if he's doing homework, he does that because he knows his reward.
I'm going to start trying
Oh,
that.
that
I'm
is
gonna
going
see
to
if
be
those
the
dishes
new
get
one.
done and that food
Rutendo said,
gets
I am
cooked
the
because
gift that will give the gift if you do the things.
rewarding his behaviour.
100%. But what's the how-to? Because I'm guilty of this, where I talk about I love myself, I'm so confident, blah blah blah. But sometimes we forget to explain how do we get there, because it's not an overnight process.
No, it's
right?
not.
no.
It's not an overnight. So to both of you, or to all 4 of us, what's the how-to? What's your one or 2 or 3 or 5 things? But what's the how-to? How does someone shift from I've just had a baby, I'm not sure where I'm going, everything's changed, to this is the gift that keeps on giving?
It's just
Come look at
take
me.
it one day at a time.
Yep.
You know, be easy on yourself. You just gave birth. That's like an amazing thing to do. So if you put that in your head, like I've done an amazing thing, I've given birth. You know, kudos to you.
Yeah.
And take it one day at a time. If you need the help, ask for the help. You know, and don't compare yourself to anyone. Do not compare yourself to anyone because you don't know what the next person is going through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing amazing.
You, Victoria?
Give yourself.
I got fed up of hating myself.
They're so boring, isn't it?
I honestly, I got fed up of just feeling shit about myself all the time. And it was literally like, I know this sounds cliche, I don't know if that's the right word, but I just woke up one day and I was like, I've had enough.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm fed up of trying to like, you know, post a certain photo and, you know, taking 200 pictures just to get one that doesn't make me look like I've got a belly or I couldn't be bothered. And then I just started posting content that I was just me. Like, I didn't want to edit it. And I just remember thinking that make the relief I felt when I stopped trying to hide myself.
And you don't know how many people appreciate that.
That was like literally just a game changer for me.
Yeah.
It was literally life changing, and I stopped fighting it because it didn't matter what I did. It was never going to. I was never. Although I can lose the weight, my body will. I don't know if you guys. I could lose 5 stone, but I will always have the stretch marks. I will always have the C-section scar and the overhang. Like my body will never, ever, ever be what it was like pre-babies.
Yeah.
And I was fighting to get it to that. It was just an impossible task. And I just thought, what is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point? Because I've got 2 daughters as well. And I know it's important for boys too, but as a girl mum, I do not want, like you said, Grace, I do not want my daughters growing up
Exactly.
thinking that mum, you know, always hated herself and always wanted to change how she looked. Because I don't actually. I really don't.
Yeah.
So I'm at peace with myself, and I love like you say, you know, I love myself more than I did pre-babies.
Yeah. Like I'm so in
And I
love
don't know
with
if you
my
guys
body
feel the
now.
same, but
It's mental.
It's just tiring, isn't
I
it?
think I'm bloody amazing. I think
Yeah.
women and mothers are just incredible. There's no words to even describe what we go through and then like what we become afterwards. Like it's
amazing.
Yeah.
The emotional changes that and the silent battles, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah.
Nobody really understands, and each of us have. I'm sure we've all had different battles, but what you go through at 3 o'clock in the morning on your own when you're doing the night feeds, and you've got all of that stuff going through your mind.
Yeah.
I haven't
No one
got the
sees
capacity to deal with worrying about what I look like at the same time as all of that, because you just have to give yourself a break.
I know.
You really do.
and take your time with it. I think only now I feel like I'm back in like wearing the clothes that I love and wearing like the heels all the
Takes a long
time.
time.
But for a long time, I was in leggings and a t-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
legging. Can we
And
just
my
shout out to the
trainers.
leggings a
Yeah.
moment for the beauty of
Honestly.
leggings?
Oh,
the
You know
lounge
what?
wear.
First thing in the morning, and just, it sucks you in. And
Best.
it holds, it's like an emotional hold.
I
And you
know.
feel like it's a
It's
little
like a
cuddle,
comfort
isn't it?
blanket.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cuddle
it's
around
like
your
a
waist.
comfort blanket.
I love a
Yeah.
legging. I think we underestimate that and then put again the pressure on ourselves to I need to make an effort, I need to do this, and we do, but only if it makes you feel good.
I was
Yes,
still wearing,
exactly.
you know, the pregnancy jeans with the big.
Oh,
elastic
the big
bands?
stretchy big
I was
underwears.
still wearing them a year later.
100%.
They're comfortable.
Why would I put them on that are just uncomfortable when I
Yeah.
can just have the band and
Yeah.
the stretch? Like nobody
Yeah.
knows I've got a jumper over the top.
No,
like,
they don't.
It's comfort, isn't
Yeah.
it?
You're talking
I
about the
agree.
pregnant jeans. I'm talking about the big panties you wore.
Oh,
my
big
days.
knickers are the
That's me
best.
now. What do you mean?
Listen, my husband just like turned on. It's
my-
my 5 It was like, listen.
maybe that's why I
comfort.
don't have a sex life, because I'm
Still, the big cotton knickers.
They're the most comfortable thing ever.
The only time I ever change it.
You don't have a sex life. Don't put that in.
Edit that.
Edit that out. I think the only time mine's changed. I recently bought thongs, guys.
Okay.
Because I wanted to feel
Mine
a
would
bit.
disappear. I'm like, you,
know.
I didn't have a vagina
No.
birth, and I'm sure something went wrong down there.
Do you know what?
No,
I had to
listen.
because Trevor was hanging out the washing, and one pair of my knickers took up a whole line on the era, and I thought, "This is, girl, come on." But do you know what? I also did it for me. I did it for
To
me
feel good.
But even
Yeah.
just getting
Good, yeah.
new knickers
Just
after
new
the
knickers,
baby.
Yeah.
A nice pair of new pajamas. Like, get a new bra that's
100%.
not maternity.
Yeah.
But take your time with it. It's not a rush.
I really took
think
my time
social
with
media
it.
does make you
Comfort
feel like
is so important, I think.
yeah,
after you've had a baby.
it is, because your body does feel different, and your scar and your C-section
Oh,
scar
the
can hurt
scar,
for
yeah.
years afterwards, every now and then. So,
Yeah.
what else happened with changing after a baby? I feel like friendships change. Your money changes.
The money changes.
changes.
Oh my God.
Money,
Friendship
did you
change,
say?
yeah.
Yeah, the money
Money.
changes.
God.
Money
It all
changes.
changes.
I think that's your friendships changing. I think is really hard because I think you, particularly if you've got other mum friends.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if anyone's had those. You go into those antenatal classes and then goes
never
from being
did those,
really
you know.
supportive to going into this weird competition. She had a baby first. She had this.
Yeah.
She's gone back to work.
Yeah.
She hasn't gone back to work. She's
Yeah.
clicked back. She's already at the gym. She's doing, and then you go into this weird, almost like you said, comparing yourself to
Yeah. to other
mums.
people.
And I think we do it on social, but we do it in our friendship circles
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And I think that massively shifts and then knocks the confidence, which is why there's so much power in saying, my nipples are big and my fanny hurts. Like, there is power
Yeah.
in that
Yeah,
to
yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Because we don't say those things. And then when you are a new mum, or you're pregnant, or something happens in your body you don't know,
Yeah.
you feel like
My
this
nipples
must be
went
just
dark.
me.
I know.
Oh yeah, they change.
Yeah,
The
mine
areolas
got, like,
change.
Never knew that
big.
until I was like, what? I've got burger nipples.
I have though.
Like beef patties.
I have, yeah. And I didn't actually breastfeed. I've had I really struggled to breastfeed because I had implants and it really, my boobs got so big
Yeah.
that my daughter just couldn't fucking
Breathe, probably.
literally like she couldn't. No, honestly, but my nipple just disappeared.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
they
fat
go in,
nipples.
I used to
Yeah.
have to run outside and get some cold air.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know how these women do it with their tiny little lovely perk nipples. And,
Yeah.
mine were just
Down,
thing, didn't
just
have a
down.
chance,
No.
So yeah.
I'm loving anyone who's listening to this like really loud on loudspeaker anywhere. Really, but do you know what? I'm glad we're having the conversation because I don't feel like we have it
We
enough.
don't, it's really
No.
important.
But it's so normal.
We need to get rid of the shame of
Yeah,
like my
it's
body's
so
changed and
normal.
it doesn't look right. It does look right. It
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
incredible. You're incredible. And we don't
You were
say
young
enough.
when you had your
Absolutely.
first, though, Jess.
22.
Oh,
So did
gosh.
friendships affect that? Because obviously you can't go out.
And nobody had
Wetherspoons,
kids.
you can't go for
No
cocktails.
Wetherspoons on a Saturday night for Jess. And I feel like it was different. Also, we were so young as well. So I feel like not many of my friends had kids
Yeah.
at that time.
okay.
So they were still living life and I was still trying to be 22 in a skimpy dress going out. And I think I do remember trying to lose a bunch of weight after I had her and feeling like it was some sort of achievement to be in a tiny dress, not actually creating human life, which is actually the
Yeah,
achievement
exactly,
here.
yeah.
And I didn't think about that at all. I think you want to go back to every part of your life that was before because there's some normalcy in that. There's some control in that. And you're
Yeah.
And there's a
suddenly
grief.
thrown into, of
There's
what
a
life
grief
was
that
before.
is
you
so
have a
true,
baby.
right?
Of your body,
Yeah.
grieving the body that
Grieve
was
it,
before.
but
You're allowed to
also
do that.
The
life you had
experiences.
before,
Oh,
yeah.
I couldn't breastfeed. For me, I couldn't breastfeed my first.
I
So it's like, okay, I'm grieving that. You grieve your body, your friendships, your partner, everything. You just grieve so
Yeah,
much.
Everything changes, doesn't it? That's the
Yeah.
thing.
It does.
I think that's an important thing as well, not to put pressure on wanting to go, because my life is so different now.
Yeah.
And I just think, yeah, there are probably some mums that do get to go back to pre-baby life and sort of everything gets, back to what it was before. But I think a lot of women, that's the hardest thing, the grief of realising life is never going to be the same again.
Yeah.
But I think it's finding the positives in that
Yes.
rather than,
Yeah.
The
do you
negatives.
really want your life to go
No.
back to what it was?
Yeah.
Because,
I'm actually quite happy the way I am
And
now.
there's joy
Yeah.
as well with your kids, and it's just a different life.
Yeah.
growth, it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, it's important. I think for new mums out there, it's just important to just accept the new phase you're in as well.
Yes.
And it's also important to find people to talk to. Like with my second born, there's a few mum groups that I was able to attend, and it was quite helpful as well because people
I
were
wish
just
I'd done
honest.
that, actually.
No, it's quite good. It's really helpful because you get to meet like mums who also are going through the same thing you're going through as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it helps your mindset. You
I
should
love
mention
that.
health and things like that.
I'm going to throw out a random question now. What is your favourite part of your body postpartum?
My booty.
Hey, Rutendo said my booty. Yes, and also, do you know what? I love that you didn't hesitate. There was no thinking about that. You were like, I've got a part and I love it. Yes.
Do you know, because I grew up, I've always had a big backside, yeah? And people and people used to shame me about it. They used to make me feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And I had to accept it. And post-birth,
People pay for
I
big
love
bums.
it.
Yeah,
Lots of money.
Yeah, but, people around me I didn't see that. I just felt like I was like, oh my days, I have to hide it, wear this baggy clothes. But you know what? Yeah, it's there, girl.
Yeah, Rutendo said
That's my
booty.
favourite part.
I love that. Victoria, what about you?
I have to say, I don't have one part. I think it's just like, I'm just really like happy with my shape in general now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Like the lumps, the bumps, bring it on. Like my partner says he loves it. I mean, so I'm good.
I love it. You're like, even if he didn't bothered.
Really?
I'm not bothered.
Yeah,
love it,
no,
okay?
I
love
just think
that.
generally like I'm just content with it how
Yeah.
it is now.
Grace,
It
what about
doesn't-
you?
yeah.
I just think I'm bloody great. I think
That's because
that
you are.
I just think I like what I see.
Yeah.
My belly hangs, my boobs hang, my labia hangs, but it's
Hanging
okay.
around.
When I put on my outfit and I put on my shoes and do my hair and makeup, I feel great.
Yeah.
And also, it's just the gratitude of like surviving what I've been through and coming out the
Yeah.
other end, and like it's a miracle for me to be able to like talk and walk and eat and stuff.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Exactly.
for me,
Yeah.
it's like a different it's a different level. My reference point is completely different to
Yeah.
most mothers. So I just think I'm just great.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know
I'm
what you
here for
mean.
it.
Is
No,
that wild to
no,
say?
no,
No,
and it
it's
shouldn't
true.
be. It shouldn't be wild to
shouldn't be,
say. If
it's
anyone
true.
does think it's wild to say, it should not be.
And I
Yeah.
think really highly of myself now. Whereas
Absolutely.
before, like the language I would use would like talk myself down a little bit and like
Yeah.
diminish like who I was.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like motherhood now made me really appreciate like who I am,
Yeah.
what I've gone through to survive,
Yeah.
and then also now thrive. It's taken me nearly 5 years to get to
Yeah.
this point. So like I really do think that it's important to think that you're amazing. And I
Do you know what?
Yeah.
People underestimate the power of the tongue. You always have to speak positive things
Speak
about
life into
yourself
yourself.
and things around you. Because if you speak negative things, it's going to be negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really important to just
And for
speak.
so long, it was the other way for me.
Even for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. People see me confident now. They think, oh, Tender's. I was not. I was the most depressed person you've ever met. But now I've realized who I am. I'm very positive. I'm confident in myself. I'm happy about everything I'm going through in life. I'm happy about it. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's just so important. Just speak life
I
to
just love
yourself.
us.
This is my favourite. I'm
I
just
know.
like, I love it so much. And I hope anyone listening in is like, what I want from this is people to go, yes.
Yes.
Be
Big up
ready.
the village by Emma's Diary.
Saggy all the things is absolutely fine. So we ladies are going to move on to our 3 a.m. confession. This is my favourite part of the week. So this is the things that we say in the dark, the things that we want to bring to the light, because there is no shame in motherhood. We're bringing it all out. So this week's confession is from Olivia. Olivia is part of Emma's Diary community. So let's have a listen to what Olivia says.
I didn't recognise my new body and I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I know I should be grateful that my new body grew and birthed a baby, but I didn't feel that way. Does that make me shallow?
No.
That was
Absolutely
me.
not.
That was literally
Absolutely
me.
not.
Literally me.
It's the most normal thing you can go through. I think we've all been through it.
Yeah.
You know? And I've been through it. Victoria, you've been through it as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
normal.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
feel
it's
shallow.
so normal to feel like that, but it's so just
It's also important to
give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You're not-
Yeah. As someone that's come on the outside, the other side, it's so important to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Because it's just. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't recognize my body after I gave birth as well. I really hated myself. And I look in the mirror, I'm holding my little baby here and I'm looking at my stomach just hanging there. Just like, who the hell am I? But you know what? Yeah. Who the hell am I? Yes, I'm a
I
mother,
don't think it's
girlfriend,
shallow
you
though
know what I mean?
either.
No, it's
I
not
really don't think it's
It's
shallow. I
not.
think it's really normal to feel like that.
Yeah.
It's really normal to feel like that. But I think as someone that's come on the other side, I think we could all sort of say that you will realise what's important and
Yeah.
that will not be important to you in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. it
Yeah,
won't
and
be.
also like do things that make you feel good.
Exactly.
So, you know, like food is a massive part of like nutrition as a new mum, if you're
Yeah.
breastfeeding especially. So like make sure you're eating well, eating
Looking after
enough.
yourself.
Things that make you feel
Staying
good as well.
hydrated,
Yeah.
drink
Fresh
a lot.
air.
If you think about it, we all get hammered pre-baby on how important like your pregnancy supplements are
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
of that kind of stuff. So why then, when your baby is here, do you then let go,
Forget it.
Stop.
take your
Yeah.
foot off the gas? Because that's what we all do. We take our foot off the gas when the baby's
Yeah.
here, and then we wonder why we're exhausted,
Yeah.
we're depressed, we're
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
and that's
Breaking out,
makes a lot of
can't
sense.
poo properly.
exactly. Oh my
It's a
god,
whole thing.
constipation
Yeah.
pre-baby.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. After I gave birth to my second child, I was taking my painkillers and
I have
forgot,
only just got rid of my piles.
I forgot to take.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for someone
listening to this on the tube
I'm going to regret that, by the way.
guys.
I,
No.
No,
That's gonna be
because
the
you're not
opener of
alone.
this
video.
Seriously,
No,
you're
offline.
not alone.
Piles,
Yeah.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
Not
What?
even that. Listen,
That's what I should have said when you asked me that
It's a
question.
lot.
What did that was like
piles.
Oh my god.
I forgot to
That
take
was-
my laxatives when I was taking my painkillers
Yeah.
after I gave birth,
And it gives you constipation.
Yeah.
and I almost called the ambulance guy. I know I had to call them.
It's so painful.
And my husband had to. That's why
Is
I
this
love him. bless him.
postpartum?
Postpartum.
Yeah, me when I was pregnant, I literally.
my
When I
goodness.
was having examinations in the hospital, I kept apologising when I was delirious. My partner said all I was saying was, "I'm really sorry about my piles." Because she was like, "Honey, I'm not looking at your piles. I'm looking
Yeah.
at your baby to see if you." And I was like, "I've got really well piles. Please don't look at them."
So next, girlies, we've got myth of the week. Sent in from Natasha, and she has said your body should bounce back after birth.
Myth, big myth, big myth.
Your
not
body
the
should
biggest.
bounce back.
No.
The
Biggest myth of
biggest
them all.
myth of them all.
No.
The
Honestly.
biggest myth of them all.
And it's something that's fed into the society through social media, through cultural
It is
issues.
not real.
It's not true.
It's not real for 99.9% of us.
Yeah.
Victoria's
just-
passionate about this.
I swear I hate it.
Honestly.
I hate it. And what really grates on me, I just hate when I see people who share content online and you know that it's like there's so much. Often when women bounce back, there is also stuff behind that you don't see.
They
Like
don't show it.
you don't see obviously what that they've had to. You know, they like to give the impression that it's just overnight.
Yeah.
You know, and that women that don't bounce back are lazy. Or that, you know, I see women say that all the time. You know, oh, you know, bounce back culture. It's not about that. It's just because you're eating too much, or you gained too much weight when you were pregnant. Unless you've been through what I've been through, and unless you have my body and my metabolism, like, do not tell me what my body should or shouldn't look like.
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
And people can celebrate their postpartum body. Like, if you are happy and proud, however that looks, that's fine. But do it without shaming someone else. And that's the difference, because there's nothing wrong with someone going, you know, I'm back into my pre-pregnancy, great, that's fine for you, but don't shame someone else because they're not. And that's the hard part, because I want every woman to celebrate their body. I don't care if you're a size 6, size 26, it's irrelevant to me. Celebrate it if you feel happy about it, but don't do it. It's the judging and the shame
like, well,
around someone else who
you know.
hasn't.
And you know
That's
what's
the
worse? For my side, it's people who are usually who look worse off than me who are telling me that I need to look better. I'm like, listen, shall we get a mirror? Anyway.
Tea, honey, tea. Correct. Correct.
said, I'm not
Mind
taking
your
advice from
business.
you.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, let's not do that, okay? No. Sorry.
No, that is sensational.
Honestly,
I'm taking that with me wherever I go.
That is so true.
Know your
Seriously,
place.
But they
so
say
true.
that don't take advice from
Honestly.
someone who isn't playing in the same ring as you.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
you should do that in every aspect.
And women
of
just
life.
love tearing each other down.
Why
That's
do
the
we do
thing.
that?
They just love tearing each other
Do you know,
down.
even this whole post, like bouncing back culture, it's mostly women who are initiating it.
Yeah.
It's hardly men, because men are happy with their women, big, small, whatever you are. But it's women who are just pushing this onto other women, and it's not right.
No.
You know, I will say though, as someone who pre-baby, I was quite a small size, and it took me to have this now to understand. So I think, in their defence, unless they've actually experienced it, it's very hard to understand.
Yeah.
So I don't think it always comes from a
I
place
find
of
that really
malicious
interesting.
intent.
Yeah.
But for me now, like, I probably had more mindset in line with that person pre-babies than I do now. But now, obviously, I'm on the other side of it.
And I think being
can
plus size
relate.
before having babies,
Yeah.
the experience was different because I learned to love myself big before kids.
Yeah.
So it's actually very easy for me not to bounce back because my body was already deemed unacceptable before.
Yeah.
So I completely understand that.
Yeah. And I think, it's not always done in like a... I think you can see posts like that as someone that has dealt with the changes. It can be quite triggering, but I don't think they...
It's not
I'm
as
honest,
malicious.
If I'm honest, if I didn't come away with what I had, can I be certain I wouldn't be that person?
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
true.
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
point.
I love that
Like,
self-awareness.
I really don't know whether I would,
Yeah.
I think I probably would if I had jumped back into a size 10, been that person.
Because the world has told us to celebrate that.
But it's like something has taught me that,
Yeah.
I needed to like ground myself a little bit
Yeah.
and realise that there's more to life than just how you look. And
That is so
yeah.
true.
Agreed.
And you're here to tell others the same thing.
Yeah.
Guys, just accept your body the way it is.
How was
Beautiful.
your guys' like 4th trimester? Did anything kind of happen that you were like, I was not prepared for this?
I felt pregnant again.
Victoria, that is definitely not something I expected.
Don't do that.
And how long? How
6
long?
months old. Yeah, Isabella was 6 months and I'd had the C-section, and I'll never forget they said to me in hospital,
Don't get pregnant.
because with
They
Isabella,
say about 2 years.
it was
don't they?
quite a dramatic C-section because they had to push her back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, seriously,
Don't get pregnant.
at least 18 months. And then I went back to my midwife and I walked in and she was like,
When you got that pregnancy
at the
test,
same midwife.
what did you think?
Oh, my mum and dad were staying. We lived in Manchester at the time. My mum and dad were staying. And I looked at my mum and she went, you twat. And I went down to my dad and my dad went, well, it's typical bloke. He went, well, get him out the way. Why not? Get him out the way quick and then you can get back to doing what you want to do.
back.
And I just, and I told my partner on Father's Day, actually, and Isabella was like 7 months old. I kept it in for a month because it was just before Father's Day I found out. And his face.
you're so fertile after you have a baby.
I know, nobody told me that. I think I
No.
was naive. I did not realise
I
that.
really knew
Because
that.
my periods had not come back properly.
Oh my God.
And it was
That's
one
one thing-
time. That's all it took.
Oh
and
my goodness.
I'm very grateful because I've got friends that really struggle.
Yeah.
And we always say we don't realise how
Yeah,
lucky
it's a
we
privilege.
are.
Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
privilege.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
get
blessed
that.
and I'm so lucky. I wouldn't change it now. And I'm grateful for that. It's not me saying that I don't.
But it's the initial shock.
But
of
it's like,
I'm doing this again already.
That's a hardcore
I'm
fourth
not even
trimester.
yeah, so I didn't really feel like I got a fourth trimester because
Yeah.
I went straight back into. My body didn't get
That
chance
you were back
to
into the
recover.
first before you even got to the
so
end of
only
the
now, like 2 years postpartum, am I actually dealing with what I should have had. I just skipped that. I kind of like fast forwarded. So
I
Yeah.
had so Cyprus, I had him. I was in a coma, so my fourth trimester didn't really happen because
crazy.
I was like half dead.
honestly, I remember
casually drops
following
these
that
things in
journey, and
all the
I like
time.
I've never like wanted somebody to wake up that I
Yeah.
did not know
I
as
know.
much. Like, and that seems like
I love
so
how she
long
just
ago.
I
casually
know.
drops in. Yeah, couldn't do
I nearly
that.
died.
I was
Yeah.
half dead.
It was a little bit
Wow.
busy.
Because you were pregnant, right?
Yeah. So then, but I had him on Christmas Eve, and then I was in a coma afterwards. But then when
Did
I
you
had my
get to meet him?
second, yeah. So when I first had him, I did, and then after it was like 5 months, 3 months, 4 months. I can't remember. But with Kamiko, my second, so it's my second baby, but my first fourth trimester.
Of course, yeah.
So I felt like nobody in the world is going through this. No one can give me any advice on what this is like because I've made some other mum friends that had gone through what I've gone through with Cyprus, so the coma and stuff. But I was the first one to have a second baby, so I had no
all
one
new.
Yeah.
who knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
And so I was with my second. I should be really prepared and know what it's like. I had no idea, and I was so naive. I was so depressed after my second because I was comparing all her little firsts to what I missed with Cyprus, and it was hell on.
Yeah.
And the guilt that you
So
must have
many
felt.
layers.
like-
Yeah.
It was really horrific for me.
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine.
I haven't even spoken about it before because I just felt like what I'd gone through was such an odd experience. I
Yeah.
couldn't really put it into words for such a long time. My second baby, but my first experience of the fourth
Yeah.
trimester. And I really struggled.
I think it's hard when you
not
have more
surprised.
than one child as well. Because my fourth trimester with Sophia was a fourth trimester. I mean, I was at a wedding, but there's that. But then when you have other children after, your fourth trimester is skewed because you have it's not just you
So I
and
never got the
baby.
true
Exactly.
first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I
So
never got it.
yeah, and so then
Yeah.
you've got another child to look after, or like you haven't got the capacity to just be in that bubble, so to speak, of your fourth trimester with your child because you've got other children to look after. By the time I had Theo, I had 3 other children to look after, 2 of which were under 4. So that like my fourth trimester was doing the school run, and like there was
miss
no
out on it, don't you?
capacity for that. But I think we underestimate the power in having a really restful, wholesome, like fourth trimester. We forget about that impact of what that healing then looks like later because we're just the baby's here now, so all the support kind of just
doesn't
the
it-
baby's here, that's it,
It
it's
just
done.
goes so quick as well.
Yeah.
For the fourth trimester, it was different both times for me because the first time around I was recovering from sepsis. It was lockdown, so it was a lot. I was very lonely because even my family couldn't come visit.
Yeah,
Do you know
I had
what I
that,
mean?
yeah.
I was quite lonely, but with my second born, I think I probably enjoyed it a lot more. I was mentally ready to just be in that bubble. Even though I had my daughter there, she was quite well behaved. I made sure I took time to just enjoy that fourth trimester.
I love
made
that
time.
for you.
Yeah.
And that's so healing when you don't get a chance to do it the first time.
Yeah.
Like I love
was
that because I had Jason in lockdown.
Yeah.
I think 2 days before lockdown. So
Yeah.
then there's no one can come. We're
No,
just in
honestly,
the
it
house.
was very lonely, but I made it
Yeah.
a point to just enjoy my second born in the little bubble. It was pretty amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
How was your physical recovery compared to your emotional? Like, did you find one harder than the other?
that big breath in was like, here we go. I
No,
love
'cause
that.
it's a lot.
Both were
yeah.
savage for
Yeah,
me.
it's a
like,
lot.
both were
It's a
savage.
lot.
Like, I had 2 first emergency C-section for me. Second was an elective, but of course I didn't just have that. My waters broke, 3 weeks
Of
before,
course.
and it's like,
Because why not?
Victoria, keep it simple, hun.
Do you know what I mean?
Anyway, yeah. So for me, like the physical side from a C-section perspective, because I can't speak for people that have the vaginal birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was savage.
Yeah.
Like, I really struggled with C-sections, and I don't know whether my pain threshold is just through the floor, but it just knocked me sideways. I really struggled with the pain, and I'm like you said, I'm a really independent person usually.
Yeah.
So I think having to realise that I couldn't do what my instincts were telling me to do, and wanting to do everything,
And rely on
that
people.
was really hard. And the pain, I couldn't even walk out of the hospital. I had to have a wheelchair.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know how people do it. Like I just really struggled.
Yeah.
But the emotional side was probably the hardest part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Me too.
I felt like a failure that I didn't
Yeah.
have a vaginal birth.
Yeah.
And I feel very passionately about that as well now. You know, when you talk about people using the term
Natural.
birth.
Yeah, I've said this before. Yeah, agreed.
That's another thing that really grates on me. And I could, because, you know, nobody you do choose to have a C-section, but on grounds
In some
usually,
circumstances,
some
not in every,
circumstances, not in
For me,
everyone.
I
But
didn't.
emotionally, I felt like a failure because
Yeah.
I'd got
C-section.
I'd got to 10 centimetres and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I felt like a failure. Mm-hmm. And it was the same for the second one, really, because I had another C-section, but just savage in both sides, really, but just in different ways.
It was. I think they were both really hard because physically, with my first one, I had to recover from sepsis first. I could hardly see for like 2 months. I was looking at people and they looked like 3D cartoons. It was so weird. I couldn't walk, obviously, and I think mentally it was harder because asking for help is really, really difficult for me. And I would cry before I'd ask someone for help. And my husband would be like, Tendo, you know, we're all here for you. Mama's like, we're all here for you. You just have to
don't get it,
speak
do
up.
they?
No, they don't get it. Like, but I want to do it myself, you know? And I felt so bad because while I was in the hospital, I couldn't hold my baby up to breastfeed because I was basically going to die because I was just going black from my feet going up. So I couldn't even move. So I was crying, but my mom had to hold my baby by my breast to breastfeed her. And I felt like such a failure. I didn't get that, you know, that instant bond you get once you give birth because they had to knock me out. I gave birth under GA. And I missed out on all of that. And it was all playing in my head because before I gave birth, I was like, oh my days, I'm going to have a baby.
I got that plan, haven't we? Got that plan in our head.
Just think it's gonna be...
it went left real quick. And I was like, you know what? No. I think both were really difficult, but I think mentally it's harder because you have to bring yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you've got a choice, haven't you? You either have to stay in that slump or just...
not.
It's really hard.
That's why I was so focused with when I had my second. I didn't want to have a second child because I was scared I'd have sepsis again. But when it came, I made it a point to be positive mentally, be happy within myself, and just to have positive people around me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that way, mentally, second time round, I was better off, even physically as well. I think because I was happier with my body, I was happier with my mind, it made things much smoother.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying, the power of the tongue is so important. Just be positive, like speak positivity. Even if you're having a bad day, just
Speak life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speak life to yourself. It makes such a difference.
I remember, like, people often saying to me, oh, I don't know how you've done it. Like, I don't know how you've gone through this. I had no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
As a
You
mum, when
literally
you
have
become
no
a mum,
choice.
there's no choice.
Yeah.
I've got a child to look after. For me, it was like I've got a child to get back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no other choice. And the strength that comes with being a mum is just, it's godly, isn't it? It's like otherworldly.
It is.
To pull yourself out of the
I agree.
absolute trenches
Yeah.
every single time. And we do.
Yeah.
And do you know what happened to me? Like after I gave birth to my first, because my husband is from Africa, and you know people get this the gift you get after you give birth.
Yeah.
The
Push
baby-
present.
the- yeah, push present.
I
Yeah,
didn't get one of those.
yeah. So
My push present was my child.
Yeah.
my husband
No,
was not
actually, I
really
got
aware
some
for
sushi.
it.
Yeah. I got sushi. after
That's
that.
good. That's good. Yeah. So after I educate my husband about this whole push present behavior, do you know what I mean?
I told him.
Educate
Yeah, I
my
told
husband.
him. But
I love it.
There were people around who were listening. They're like, push present, but you didn't push. I was,
I dare you to say that to me.
My God.
No.
I
like,
see girls
listen.
getting Hermes for a push present.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And I got to Mitsu, so I'm all right. I'd rather have had the Itsu than Hermes anyway.
It's so hard. Why do people
know.
think before you speak when you visit
I
people with
know.
babies? Please,
And
I beg
just
of you.
get rid of this whole just because you gave birth C-section is not a normal birth. Because
Yeah.
it is. I mean, I gave birth. I've got
My
a
baby would have
child.
died if I didn't have a C-section.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
my second
Same
one.
here.
So it was, really scary.
Yeah.
What message would you send to any new mums watching that are really struggling with their postpartum bodies?
You're doing fine, sweetie.
Oh, I love
You're
that.
doing just fine.
Oh, I
That's
love
what I can
that.
say.
I would probably say know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. You're not alone, and most of us are going through what you're going through, and it does
Yeah.
get better. It really does get
It
better.
gets better. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's darkest before dawn.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I love
love
that one.
that.
Come on, girlie.
Oh, Rotendo's
get me
coming with all the
started.
clips. I love that. I
Okay.
absolutely love that. There's always darkness before dawn.
Yeah.
That
is
could make me
beautiful.
cry.
Yeah, that is.
I'm not going to cry
Grace,
today.
are you gonna cry
Because
again?
it's true though.
I'm not going to cry today. That is.
What about you guys?
Yeah.
Ooh.
What would be your best bit of advice?
I think for me, like, I'm quite a
go.
solution-based person,
Yes,
so I just
yeah.
can't sit around and wait. So it's do things that make you feel good.
Yeah.
So for me, I
love
had to get
that.
out every day for fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's in the garden, doing
Something for your
just
mental
just
health.
walking around with the pram,
Yeah.
just to feel like the sun on my face, even if it was the rain, just to feel like I was still connected to like
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
And food, like eat,
Yes.
fill
Yeah,
up, you know,
exactly.
have
Love
your
yourself.
breastfeeding cookies or whatever the
Yeah.
girls eat these days.
Yeah.
And just look after yourself as much as you can.
Yeah.
And have someone look after you.
Yeah.
Lean
Yeah.
on people.
Let people look after you.
Yeah.
Accept
Yeah.
the help.
Yeah, I
And
like
you're
that.
more
that's
than
a
your
big one.
body.
That's a
Yeah.
big one.
I was just
You're
about to
more than
say,
your body.
I was just about to say,
Exactly.
my one piece would be when you look in the mirror, look at who you are.
Yeah.
Like, don't focus
Not
on
what
what you
you
can
look
see.
like, yeah.
Think
And what
about
you've done,
who
yeah.
you are and
And
what
what
you've
you've
done.
done, yeah.
Because that is, I think, the bit we forget. We
Exactly.
focus so much on what we can see in front of us, and actually stopping to not look at what I look like, and actually, who am I? I'm a mother, right? I'm a human grower. Like, I grew a human. I've done this huge, amazing, incredible, beautiful thing. I am amazing. I'm powerful. Who are you?
Yes.
And I think focus on that and how much you've achieved versus this looks different and this looks different and this looks, and embrace things going south. It's fine. You can roll it up and tuck it in. That'll all be sorted. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
it's fine.
But who are you?
And
look at
shape
who
where
you've become.
exists for a reason.
Yeah. Exactly. And don't compare yourself to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I
an
agree.
individual.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I hope all of the listeners listening to this have just felt so empowered, because I know I have.
Yeah.
And that they're walking away thinking, yes, because that is what you should listen and hear and
Yes.
feel when you listen to this episode. So a massive, massive thank you to you both.
thanks for
Thank you,
having us, guys.
Rutendo.
It's
Thank you,
been
Victoria,
really
for being
good.
here. This
This
has
for
been
me has
incredible.
been one of the best chats.
Yes,
I feel
agreed.
really empowered, and I feel like I hope the listeners and the watchers are feeling empowered too.
No one
Yeah.
can tell me nothing.
No,
after
no,
this
no,
afternoon.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Needs to-
And we'll
Don't
see
tell
you
me
next
nothing.
time.
Yeah.
Yay.